Hi, this is Dave from coalmine.com, and today in this video I'm going to show you how we can install Git for Windows. Git is a versioning tool that's usually found on Unix environments and used by developers to keep track changes of their software projects. But we're going to be using Git not only for its way of tracking files, but the extra tools that come with Git that are not normally found on Windows. They're usually found on a Unix machine, such as Linux or Mac OS, but they're not found in Windows. And so we'd like to use those tools. So first of all, I'm going to go to Google and do a search for Git for Windows. I'm going to click on the first menu item that matches, which is download Git for Windows. And I'm going to save the file. Don't execute the Git when you download it, because we're going to have to run it as administrator. We want the Git tools to be installed for every user on the local machine, and so it's best to run the Git software as administrator. So once you've downloaded the file, you can go to and search for it from the File Explorer. Here's the File Explorer. I'm going to click on Downloads, and in the Downloads, here's the icon for my downloaded installation file, Git 2.11.0 64-bit version. I'm hitting the right button, the right context button on your mouse. Don't click on it. If you click on it, you'll just install it. But hit the right context button and run as administrator. So run as administrator. I type in my password to log in as administrator. And we now have started the installation as administrator. I'm hitting the next and taking the default location for the install. Here are the components I'm going to install. I don't want to install the Windows Explorer integration because I expect as a developer to use the command line and not so much the GUI environment of Windows. So I will opt out for the Windows Explorer integration. I'll also not associate the Git configuration for the default text editor. I'm going to uncheck that. And associate .sh files to be run with bash. I'm going to uncheck that. And we're going to hit the next. So all of these options are unchecked. I'm going to hit the next. The name of the software is going to be called Git. Here, adjustment of the path environment variable. These options gives you the location, the updates to the path environment variable so that you have access to them from the command prompt. I'm actually not just going to use the Git for Windows command prompt. I'm going to say that I'm going to select the option that says use Git and optional Unix tools from the Windows command prompt. This is important so that we have access to all the extra tools that come with the Git for Windows. So hit the next. I'm going to select an option which is checkout as is, because I like to be working on a Windows environment, but the files that I'll be compiling and linking and working with are sometimes found on a Unix machine. So I don't want to manipulate the line ending, which is on Windows carriage line feed, carriage return line feed, instead of the standard Unix environment where it's a line feed. So I'm going to hit just check as is, commit as is, next. And I want to use the Windows default console window instead of the min-tty terminal, which is minimal system for GNU. But I'll be using default console windows. I'm going to hit next. And everything else in this configuring extra options I'll leave alone. So which is the caching, Git credential managers, enable symbolic links. I'll disable the enable experimental built-in diff tool. It's experimental, and I'll hit install. Now it's installing. It'll take a minute or so to get the full installation depending on the speed of your computer. Nearly finished. Great. Okay, now the final dialog box for the setup, and it's asking, the default setting says view release notes, which I really don't care about. So I'm just going to check this and hit finish. Great. I'm going to close this window. To confirm that the installation is correct, I'm actually going to go to the right context button on Windows 10 and go to command prompt. Once I've started the command prompt, I'm going to type in the git command, and when I press enter, we get a blarb of information, and this information tells me that git works from the command line. So git is installed properly. And so that's it. Git has now been installed on your Windows machine. Anyway, this is Dave from Combine.com. Bye.